This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Jack Threads. Turkish police officials decided to dress up in white coats and stethoscopes and go door to door in southeastern Turkey to figure out whether or not these people would be willing to take pills that they offer to these people. No. This story is funny for a number of different reasons. So, of course, the authorities go door to door and they test all of these residents for their blood pressure. And they say, oh my God, would you look at that? You have high blood pressure. You should take this pill. And 86 out of 100 people agreed to take the pill without asking for credentials, without asking whether or not these individuals are actual doctors. They just took the pill.
So the doctors show up at the front door of about 100 homes.
Yes.
They take the blood pressure of the people.
Yeah.
So they submitted to a blood pressure test.
Yes.
And then right there at the front door, the doctors prescribed a pill,
Yeah.
handed it to the person, and 86 of the 100 just willingly took the pill without vetting the doctor, asking what kind of drug is this, just took it.
Correct.
What's up with the folks in Turkey?
I know that this is questionable behavior. And look, the reason why authorities did this in the first place wasn't because they wanted to do some random test. It turns out that right now there are burglars that are giving people pills and sedating them so they can go inside and
smart.
And steal their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense because it turns out that these individuals are very gullible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I wasn't even going to do this story, it's an interesting story, but I wasn't going to do it until I read a sentence that made me laugh a little bit. Okay, so this is from this is from Reuters, and it says the police pills were harmless placebos, but a local gang had been using them or using the same technique to give people heavy sedatives and then burgle them.
Burgle. Oh yeah, who's being burgled is just
What is burgle?
When was the last time you were burgled adequately though? When you got a really good burgling. To burgle it's a word that is not often used as a verb. Burglarize is what we typically say. But to burgle someone sounds almost like a combination of robbing them and having sex with them. What do you think? Oh my God, I was burgled last night like you couldn't believe. I was on my way home. A bunch of guys jumped out of the bushes and burgled the crap out of me. Like what?
What is burgled? And look, there are people in the UK right now that are shaking their heads, rolling their eyes, because it turns out that burgle is they use burgle more often than burglarized. Okay, but here in the United, I've never heard burgle before.
I wouldn't take the word of anyone from Turkey at the moment, just after you've painted this huge scenario of people taking pills willingly from a stranger at the door.
In the UK.
Oh, in the UK. I'm sorry. Okay. The burgling is taking place in the UK?
Burgle is a word that is more often used in the UK.
In the UK than here.
Yes.
Well, posh is another word that is to be burgled in a posh way is something that you often hear in English.
We're adding to our dictionary. I love it. But you know what the thing is here? Maybe it would happen less here. Not because we're just generally, less gullible. But if a doctor shows up to your door and says, here, I have this, and here's a pill, you're like, how much does this cost to me? First off, no blood pressure test, because this might cost me about $1,000.
Totally.
We're not worried
Free
about
pill.
Yeah, we're not worried about the doctor or not. We're worried about, is this going to cost me? That's my first thing. I'm like, no blood pressure test. Is this $500? Leave.
What isn't the last line in this that made me laugh is officers in southern Turkey last week called at houses announcing through the intercom, quote, I am a burglar. Please open the door. Police said they were stunned at the number of people who opened the door.
Jack Threads is a new sponsor for TYT. They're a members-only online shopping club, but because you know us, you're going to get in. Aren't we cool? But here's the key part to it, 80% off. Hello, up to 80% off of some of the top apparel lines in the country. Game over.
Right.
So go to jackthreads.com/TYT because it's free to join, and you get all those discounts, and you avoid the pain in the ass. The ending of this commercial is a little schwang wang wang.